Saludos, saludos, saludos en Instagram. Saludos en Instagram para todos ustedes. Saludos, estamos en territorio de Honduras, señores. Voy a voltear la cámara en Instagram. Déjenme dirigirme al público en Facebook y YouTube también. How's everybody doing? Thank you so much for joining in. I will be with you guys in a few seconds. Let me direct myself to the audience in Instagram. We are live from Honduras. This is Honduras Border. This is the Florido border, second border that we're visiting over here in this country. Let me change the camera over here in Instagram. Déjenme volteo la cámara en Instagram. No traemos la mascarilla, así es que disculpen si andamos medio prietitos por el sol. Saludos a todos, ¿cómo están? Oscar el Blue en vivo desde, señores, pues prácticamente desde Honduras. Estamos en Honduras, en el puerto mejor conocido como el Florido. Este puerto que se ubica en la parte oriente del país de Guatemala. Estamos ya en territorio hondureño, estamos pisando el territorio hondureño en este momento, donde pues prácticamente aquí se vive otra migración, otro tipo de migración, que es la migración del migrante nicaragüense. Este es otro puerto. Lo chistoso de esto es que en este puerto se vive otro tipo de migración, y la migración es básicamente el migrante nicaragüense el que entra por esta frontera. En la otra frontera se entra el migrante venezolano, el migrante haitiano, el migrante africano y otro tipo de migrante. En esta frontera del Florido se entra el migrante prácticamente de Nicaragua. Nos comentan las autoridades, y van a ver aquí algo que es importante para que vean que las autoridades están prácticamente controlando el flujo migratorio, y también están controlando también, regulando la migración en las autoridades de aquí. Déjenme, les volteo la cámara para que vean. How's everybody doing? We are live from Honduras. As you guys are going to see, this is the port of entry of this is the port of entry of no, espérame, aquí lo agarro. This is the port of entry of El Florido that is located right here in Honduras. I'm live in Honduras. This is the country of Honduras. We're live right here. We are in Honduras territory practically, and there's a different migration on this port of entry that is on the west side of this country. Different migration. Why different? Because the military has approached us right now, given us information, and told us that the migration over here, it is from migrants from Nicaragua, and that ultimately the migrants from Nicaragua are always being documented entering to this port of entry. So it is something that is different. It is something that is, in a way, it is surprising that the migration on this port of entry, it is being regulated, documented. And we are going to be witness of that tomorrow. We're going to come here early in the morning tomorrow to see if actually they are processing migrants correctly and documented on this particular port of entry in Honduras. So we are located right now in Honduras. Let me flip the camera so you can see also how there are military on this side that ultimately they're guarding their. You can see right there the military. Let me just walk a little bit with you guys so you can actually see how the military it is right here working. You can see, señores pueden ver, let me say it in Spanish, señores pueden ver cómo la militar está trabajando, resguardando pues básicamente la seguridad si existe una migración masiva por este lado. La migración que más se da de este lado, and look how beautiful is this, la migración que se da de este lado más es migrantes de Nicaragua. But let me just show you right here how the military, it is standing right here on one side. As you can see, you have the military police right here on this side from Guatemala. As they are guarding, and they are practically creating a safe pathway with this Biden border policies. This is the collateral effect that I was telling you guys about, that, now the governments of Guatemala, a lot of American citizens, a lot of US citizens were consistently accusing other governments, and I'm going to say it like that, of not doing anything. And they're practically trying to do something, regulate the migration, trying to do something, trying to be friendly with the migration, regulate the documented migration. That is the most important thing, that they're regulating and they're documenting migrants as they are coming in from Honduras. So this is something that is really important. Over here, you will see the chief commander of the platoon that we talked to him a few moments ago, and he told us that he has seen a lot of migration coming in from this particular port of entry, and that ultimately, as he has seen a lot of migration coming in from this port of entry, it has been all migrants from Nicaragua, that they are being documented, entering peacefully, and they are respecting their humanitarian rights. As they are saying, entering peacefully and documented, the documentation to transit to the Triangle of Central America, it is really different than the United States with Mexico. When you're documenting and when you're processing and entering another country in Central America, you put a petition and it doesn't last that much. It lasts sometimes it lasts hours. Sometimes it's a petition that it can be done in one day to another. Sometimes it's a petition of transit. So basically, it's a free transit between the three countries. It is not irregular. That is the way the Triangle of Central America works. The United States of America works different. To enter the country of the United States of America, sometimes you have to wait years to apply for a residency, to apply for a tourist visa, and to apply for refugee and asylum, as we are seeing the problematic right now of abuse of the laws of refugee and asylum. So this is completely different. This is so important that we explain to you guys how the process to enter two countries, it is different, because everybody's saying why they're not processing them, why they're not taking so long to come in. It is different. That the Triangle of Central America has different agreements of how to let immigration laws, how they work, and the way that they work is that the process for a permit of transit, it is really quick. It's an hour. Sometimes it's just one day to another day, and sometimes it's an immediate action. I don't know what it is, the reason why it is sometimes an immediate action. Sometimes it's because of the type of urgency that you have. Sometimes it's because it is different. But in the somebody is commentating something that is, and I'm I'm going to address this comment because I don't have to. They're saying because the USA has immigrants from every country, South America does not. You are incorrect. That is really an incorrect comment. Do you actually realize where the migration is coming from? The migration is coming from South America. So if you have a migration coming to South America, to North America, that means that all South America, Central America, it is a plural migration. It is migrants from all across Central America and South America. Please. My God. Okay, going back to the information. So this is the difference between migration. Now, in this particular port of entry, that is El Florido, you will see a different migration. Tomorrow, we're going to be early right here, early in the morning, for people to see how migrants from Nicaragua are located over here. And this is a port of entry where migrants from Nicaragua come. Nicaragua is going right now through a dictatorship that actually, it is, particularly being attacked right now. The country of Nicaragua is being attacked by a communist dictatorship, by their dictator Ortega, that is practically destroying that country religiously, geographically, everything that is being done. I know what everybody's going to say. The United States is not the solution for the world, Oscar. We cannot take the world, Oscar. I understand that. I'm just explaining what the Nicaragua people are going through. Just quote unquote, because everybody's going to start, oh my God, we cannot take the world, Oscar. We already know that. But I'm explaining what the Nicaragua people are going through. And they're going through a dictatorship. That is why you have a massive number of people of Nicaragua not only moving to the north of the continent, but also they're moving to the south of the continent, South America, and also in Europe. It is really important that we explain that. It is really important that we say that. Why? Because the process for migration of the Triangle of Central America has a free of transit agreement, which means that you can get a permit, immediate permit to transit from one day to another. And you don't have to wait for days like they wait in Mexico. And when they wait in Mexico, it is because they have a process for every single, they have a process for migration that takes around 15, 20 days, 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. It is completely different. Let me flip the camera so I can say hello to you guys. Voltea la cámara, la voy a voltear. Si quieres, vete a aquel lado. Ah, no, pues me pongo de este lado así. ¿Estamos bien? Thank you so much. How's everybody doing? Oscar Blue right here live from the port of entry of El Florido. This is a port of entry in Honduras. We are in Honduras territory right now. We already walked inside of this customs immigration territory. We have to be respectful with every country's laws. And as we are respectful with every country's laws, we need to be respectful with the Honduras country's laws. We went in there, we asked that we had permission to walk inside of the premises. We had to fill out a petition, we had to fill out a form, we had to fill out our application. We had to, in particular, we had to show this, that I will show it to you guys right now. We have to show also Mexican passport. You have to have that documentation for you to have, the authority to come in and the facility to come into another country. We have to be respectful with the authorities. We are in different countries, and we have to be friendly with the government of Guatemala, which I have to say, they have been extremely respectful to me. They have been extremely nice. The authorities, the military from Guatemala has been extremely respectful, helpful, and also the National Civil Police, they have been really respectful and helpful. In terms to the Honduras government, they were really nice right now. There's some officials over there, but the majority of the people from Honduras, they're all the way down like half a kilometer over there. Other than that, you will have, people that are working right here for the government of Honduras. They're really nice also. They treat you really nice, and they give you advice of how to enter the country legally and a legal pathway. So we did it that way. We entered, we asked what is going on right now with the migration on this particular port of entry that is on the west side where we were right now in Agua Caliente. We are around 3 hours and some fraction away from that port of entry on the west side of the country of Guatemala. And we arrived here, and as we have been explained by one of the lieutenant generals, he explained to us that the migration that is happening right here, it is migrants from Nicaragua, and it is the ones that are coming on this particular port of entry. It will be something different and important to see how the migration from Nicaragua is working and why they're entering to this particular port of entry and why through this side. When the other side, also Agua Caliente, you will see some migrants from Nicaragua. I interviewed some of them the other day. But on this side, you will see ultimately migrants from Nicaragua mostly. That's what they say. And also some cases Africa. So let's wait for tomorrow. Early in the morning, we're going to be here at this particular port of entry of El Florido in Honduras. We are located in Honduras. This is our fourth country that we have visited. Possibly we have a surprise that we are going to visit another country later on the week. Let's see if we get permission to do that. If we get permission, it will be our fifth country that we have visited. And when it comes to border, when it comes to every, the limitations between borders, that I believe that it is, something that it's amazing for me and myself. I would like to take a moment right now to appreciate my network and the network that I work for, Real America's Voice News, also the Wendy Bell Radio Network, for giving me the opportunity to travel and to show the truth, reality, and truth of the news, to be your communicator and to show you actual raw and truth about how, this open border policies and also how every border in terms of security and in terms to everything that had happened in every border in Central America works. Thank you so much to the producers, to the people in charge behind the scenes that I don't want to mention their names because of security. The owner of Real America's Voice News. God bless you, sir. God, my God, you're a wonderful human being. My brother, Ben Berkwan, my brother, Anthony Agüero, all the people of Real America's Voice News, Miss Wendy, Brock, to all the journalists in Tapachula. Guys, opened me the door for reality and true and raw and uncut footage. To all the journalists that I work for in South America, and also to the people that I collaborated in Fox News. Thank you so much. At this particular moment when you're standing in another country and you're just wondering, look where I was born. I was born in Tijuana. I'm way down into where I belong. That is my city where I was born. And sometimes when you're you're standing in another country far down south into the continent, you realize, you know, the importance of what you do as a journalist, as a reporter. And for us to document this, it is extremely important what we have been showing about the United Nations, that they are taking advantage of migrants, that they are charging migrants for transportation and transit. That is big, that is huge. You know, things that we have found out about the mass migration camps, also the horrible stories that we have been hearing about migrants from Venezuela, you know, traveling through these horrible travesties in the Darien Gap. All these kind of things are really amazing to document it, to have a relationship and an open window with the authorities of Guatemala, which last time that I came over here, I had a horrible experience where I almost got killed and brutally assaulted at a mountain. And I came back over here with my courage and my character to broadcast and to say, no, I got to go back. That is a beautiful country with beautiful people. That doesn't represent Guatemala. Those values are not the Guatemala people. I know some people from Guatemala, and these are the values. Some of the officers, they have been really nice to me, really respectful. The people have been really nice to me. The guy that is being our guide and our fixer over here, you know, has more than 20 years of experience being a journalist. He's so professional and has so much experience, and he has been really nice to me. He has shown me the other face of not only being a migrant, but being a citizen of Guatemala. And also the people from Honduras, you change your perception of, you know, the perception of migration of Honduras, and it shows you the other side of the coin of the real people of Honduras, their customs, their love for their country, that they want to stay in their country, but their economical infrastructure is so disastrous that you don't have a future. And you start looking somewhere else. And that is the sad thing about it, that, you know, corruption, the dirty politicians, the system itself in Central America and also in Mexico has been so disastrous that those are the guilty ones. Those are the accountable ones for our violence, for our insecurity, for our, you know, for our fleeing our country. Imagine if we had a good country with values, with economical infrastructure, and we had the freedom to defend ourselves, because a lot of people in the life would say, why don't you go back and defend your own country? With what? With what you're going to tell the Venezuelan citizen to defend himself if he doesn't have an arm, if he doesn't have a gun, if he doesn't have something to defend himself? Everything that is violated, everything has been taken away from them. Their freedom has been taken away from them. So we need to step up to the plate, people that have more possibilities to help these people to expose what is happening in their countries. First-class world countries need to step up to the plate and you know, and try to do something to free the people from Venezuela, to free the people from Cuba. You know, the last president of the United States of America was so hardly criticized. It was Donald Trump, and he was hardly criticized because he was trying to punish Nicolás Maduro, the dictator from Venezuela. And he was criticized because he was being inhuman. And he was criticized because he was going after that dictator. Good that he was going after him, because that is the cancer of that country. And also the president of El Salvador, Nayib Bukele, he is eliminating the cancer of that country. That is the MS gang. He's trying to do something for his people. He's trying to create economy. He's trying to put something on the ground that is coffee. He's trying to do so much beautiful things for his own people that you don't see caravans coming out of El Salvador. You don't see mass migration coming out of El Salvador, because he's trying to do something for his people. So those are the kind of leaders that we need in this world. We don't need incompetent leaders like Trudeau, like Biden, like AMLO, like Yamate, like all these dictators, like the one that is right now in Petro in Colombia, the, you know, communist dictator like Nicolás Maduro, Díaz-Canel in Cuba. We don't need that trash. We need good people that symbolize for the people, for the economy, for the growth of the country, for people to not migrate, for people that they want to migrate, they will migrate with a purpose. They will not migrate suffering, walking for countries and countries, and going through jungles and going through these horrible stories that they have told us. You know, it's a beautiful thing to be standing right here with you guys talking. I'm going to cut the live feed. I'm going to cut it short. It's really important for me to show where I'm standing right now, and I'm so thankful for this opportunity to be broadcasting. This is my platform, so I'm expressing myself freely to say, you know, we have the possibilities now to sometimes, you know, show this kind of a freedom that we have as transit, as journalists. And we have to be respectful with the other countries' laws, the other countries', you know, petitions to go in. And I'm extremely happy that the Guatemala people have been so good to me, and also the Honduras people have been so good to me. And it is sad to see the mistreatment of some other governments when other people are just trying to look for a better life. But also, we need to understand that if migration is a right, then also with the rights of migration, there come laws. You have to obey the law. There's the immigration law, and you have to respect the law. And every nation is a sovereign nation, so we need to be respectful with each other. Thank you so much for joining in. I'm Oscar Blue for Border Network News correspondent for Real America's Voice News and the Wendy Bell Radio Network, standing in the land of Honduras. Thank you so much for receiving me like this, people from Honduras, and also the port of entry of Honduras. God bless you all. Stay safe. Like we always say, people, peace and love, because always your country is first. God bless.